just passing through Glencoe. Devil's Staircase coming up on the right hand side. So we're heading up to Willie Mcrae's memorial cairn, which marks the spot where his body was found. When you look at the fatal accident and sudden death, Scotland 1976 Act, it states that a fatal accident inquiry should be launched if the death is sudden, suspicious, unexplained, or if there's serious public concern. Now what we're saying is that all four of those apply to the circumstances surrounding Willie Mcrae's death. So I've got an email from the Crown Office saying the reason there's not going to be a fatal accident inquiry is because there isn't serious public concern. But our hope is that the number of signatures on the petition demonstrates the serious public concern that the Crown Office have said would be required in order to launch the petition. Of course, the interesting thing is nobody's came at them with a special branch angle before. This is a new angle, thanks to Donald Morrison.
Willie here, Willie Mcrae. Possibly I was the last person to see him alive in Glasgow. I was on police patrol on West Nile Street near Bath Street when I saw two persons taking observations on Willie for about 10 minutes while I concealed myself in a close. I was very suspicious of their actions. At first I thought there were two of our own plain clothes police officers, but that was not the case. And I saw them taking observations on Agnew's store in West Nile Street. I wondered why. I didn't know that Willie Mcrae was in there making a purchase of 2 bottles of Islay Mist and 40 Benson and Hedges. I saw him coming out of there, and he placed one of the bottles on top of the car. 3 times he said, "I think I've got them this time." Yes, then he winked at me and he says, "Yes," he says, "I've got them this time. I've got them this time," as he patted his briefcase, which was bulging. And he said he was going to go through all that in Kintail over the weekend. And I got him to make a U-turn, and obviously I caught the folk who were watching him taking observation on the hop. And after I made the U-turn, the 2 of them ran across Sauchiehall Hall Street northwards to where 2 waiting cars were parked there. And Willie went through the lights at West Nile, Renfrew Street at Amber, and then about half a minute later, the 2 cars were burning rubber trying to catch up with Willie, causing the pedestrians. Obviously the green man was on, causing pedestrians to scatter in various directions and shouting at the drivers of both vehicles. About 40-50 meters north of this post here, and it ended up down below here. And there is a small burn there.
Well, I'll tell you what, see if a car's going to come off the road, you would think it would come off the road on the bend.
Yes, that's right.
Because that would mean that he made the bend, but he came off the road on a straight bit.
Well, I added in my first statement that the superintendent's report was false, because he said there was a skid mark and the lay-by at the top of the hill here that would have brought the vehicle to a standstill near enough. So how could he get the impetus or the speed to come down about 60 meters and brake the brake marks were so long, you see.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
So that's not true. I think that the car was boxed in actually by the two cars that have followed it from Glasgow.
From West Nile Street.
From West Nile Street. I think it was boxed in.
And stopped. So boxed in and stopped.
Boxed in, and that's what forced him off the road.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
And then possibly they've came down and done the bullet.
Very, very likely. Very likely. And I'm sure Willie, having said with the with Lord Louis Mountbatten in the Indian Navy in the war, if he was going to commit suicide, he would have known to put it here, not at the back of his head, surely. And surprising as well, the only window broken in the Willie's car was the driver's window.
Yeah.
So I think this could have been by somebody else. Willie would have known how to finish himself off if he was that way inclined.
And my feeling from what I've heard about Willie is he would rather do it in front of a peat fire with a dram in his hand.
Aye, very likely, yeah. So at the end of the day, I would like to have a FAI, a fatal accident inquiry relating to Willie's death. Then we might find out the truth, which the police, I'm sad to say, the police, special branch, the Crown Office and the government are hiding up to now.
This is bigger than Willie Mcrae. This is about us, and it's about our protections, and it's about our civil liberties, and it's about protecting the state, protecting us from the state, but also to a certain extent protecting the state from themselves.